Hi everyone, Davide here. As always, I'm here to bring you an update on the situation of the Japan travel ban and how it's affecting international students, workers and families stranded outside the country. In the past few days, things have been crazy busy organizing next week event. If you don't know yet, we will be having an event on the 18th of August at 6 p.m. where we will be asking the government to open the borders by October 2021 to international students. We will present data that show how the rest of the world is adapting to the pandemic and accepting students, while Japan is pretty much the only country left that is not doing so. So you can find the link to the event and all the information needed in the link in the description, and I will count on your support and participation during the event. So now going to the news. In the past 15-20 days, cases in Japan have been growing exponentially, and as you can see from the graph, this last wave is reaching record high in terms of confirmed cases nationwide. So we had 18,888 yesterday, and also in terms of active cases, so people that actually have corona right now, and daily cases also in a city like Tokyo and other cities. Pretty much every city is showing record cases. So it's a nationwide increase. Of course, trying to look on the positive side, one thing is that the number of deaths are not affected yet by this increase, which of course that's also thanks to the vaccination of the elderly and probably a better understanding on how to deal with the coronavirus, at least here in Japan. So what does this mean for us? Of course, it's not a good news. Having low cases would have been much better and will increase the chance of an early relaxation of the borders. But since vaccination is progressing, I will show you the data soon, and there is an increasing demand from businesses, schools, students, to reopen the residence track, so to let people with a long-term visa to enter Japan, is still possible. I think that in September or in October, some announcement is made towards students. Regarding vaccination, I will show this summary data here, since the other detailed data, they are not updated yet on the NHK side. There are data of a few days ago only available, but we have reached 36% fully vaccinated and 48% partially vaccinated. Again, these numbers are very low compared, for example, to Europe and America. However, Japan started very late, so they are progressing on a steady pace right now, and they are on target to reach 50% of the population fully vaccinated by the end of September, which give us a bit of hope that in October they could start letting foreigners in, because if the deaths are really low and they decide that it's important for students and for Japan itself to let international students in, there is a possibility with the higher vaccination of the Japan population that the borders will be open. So next news is about the Olympics. The Olympics are now over, and we can see some data about how immigration, Olympic athletes and media entered in Japan during the Olympics, how many corona cases they found, what was the situation, was it really creating a lot of problems because people from abroad actually bring corona or not. And we have some data here, and they say here, basically, as you can see, the title says that 430 people were infected in connection with the games, and in green, total number of athletes and officials infected with the new coronavirus related to the Tokyo Olympics has reached 430 people in Japan and overseas between last month, between July 1st and the 7th of August. So I think it's the time where the athletes started to enter until the end of the Olympics. And again, here in orange, 37 people were found to be positive in tests conducted at airports with a positive rate of 0.09%. And under 38 were found to be infected in 624,364 tests conducted under the jurisdiction of the games, including the athletes' village and competition venues, with a positive rate of 0.02%. Now, I think the debate about the Olympics, how they caused generally people to relax about corona, because if the government says stay home from one side, but the other side let the Olympic Games happen, I think it's a really mixed message. And surely the situation itself of the Olympics have contributed massively to this spike in increase in corona cases, just because the Olympics were everywhere and just people were gathering to watch the events and so on and so on. So this is, of course, we can talk about it, but this I don't want to really focus on this right now because it could be a long discussion and it's not really related to the travel ban at this point. What I want to show is few things. I want to talk about the data, and I want to show a few things. One is that we are talking here about over 600,000 tests in such a short time, specifically for the Olympics. So there is this test capability at the airport or available for immigration. We won't need that many tests. We won't have that many students entering Japan compared to how many tests and how many Olympic athletes entered. So the number of students is much less. So if Japan, again, could arrange these Olympics, and it's been proven that 0.09, if you consider people at the airport, or later 0.02% only were positive. We are talking about 400 people out of 80,000 that entered, where Japan now has 18,000 per day. So the number is really insignificant compared to what's happening inside Japan right now. So why don't they use the same measures that they've used to let Olympic athletes in for students, workers, families, and they just regulate immigration in this way, like everyone else in the world is doing. You could do this very safely, and even if you find once in a while a person with the virus at the airport, at this point you just have to quarantine and you just need to make sure that the person doesn't bring the virus in. But you cannot hope that the virus disappear tomorrow, because that's not going to happen. You can vaccinate your country and you need to restart business, you need to restart opening like everyone else in the world is doing. So I think this data hopefully will actually play a good role for international students, since things have been able, at least from an immigration point of view, were under control. Again, I don't want to enter to the debate of how much this actually has effect psychologically Japanese people inside Japan to don't really follow the government direction, because I think, of course, that's the case. Olympic have generated a lot of movements, a lot of people gathering and so on. Moving on, another positive news. This is end of July, so maybe 10 days, 2 weeks old news, but I think it's very important. I read here, the Consulate General of Japan in Los Angeles is seeking a talented and working individual to assist the JET program coordinator during the departure and recruitment season this fall. This is a temporary contract position, which will most likely be part-time for the duration of approximately 30 business days to take place from mid-September until mid-November. So this is an official confirmation that JET program teachers will go to Japan. So I think it's positive because at least some categories are able to go to Japan. Of course, it's a bit bitter because why they can go and other workers cannot go. Why they can go and students cannot go. I fully understand that, but I'm just here to report the news. And I think that's official. This is the Embassy of Japan in the US. We're talking about the Consulate in Los Angeles. So it's absolutely confirmed and official. And I think that means that JET program teachers will be able to go to Japan between September to November. I hope that there will also be an opening for international students in the same period of time. But we just have to wait, at least the Paralympic to end the 5th of September, and hopefully some announcement will be made. Another positive news, but again, bitter news, is this news. I will use automated translation. By the way, Nyukoku ni Kansuru News is a Twitter account I've been following. I sometimes take news from this account because it's always updated, posts a lot of news in Japanese mostly, but a lot of news about the borders, Nyukoku, enter to a country. And I want to just thank this account again so much to keep making easy to be updated on whatever everything is going on. And unfortunately, the government is not communicating. So we have to rely on media communication or updates scattered here and there. And this account is making a tremendous job to help us to keep, to get the latest information. And basically what it says here is that the the Embassy of Japan in China, the 11th of August, so this is just 2 days ago news, super news, super new news. It says that who has a dependent visa, based on the circumstances, so it will be treated case by case, but they will be able to get a visa from now on. So this is a change. It's a very, very recent change. It doesn't say who, it doesn't say which special circumstances. I've seen on social media people saying that they were getting their application accepted at the embassy, saying that it will take about a month to get the visa. So they actually took the application, some things they didn't do before. This is only for dependent visa. It's not for students, unfortunately. It's not for workers. And as far as I know, is happening in China. I would like to know in the comments, if you're watching this video, if you are waiting for a dependent visa, if you could ask your consulate or your Japanese embassy, and if you can write in the comment if they tell you yes or no, because that would be really helpful to know if there are more countries that are accepting application for dependent visa. So again, bitter, because how they decide this order, why some countries yes, maybe some countries no, why some visa yes, some visa no. But it's again a sign of opening, and I think each sign should be treated positively by the whole international community. The next news about New Zealand is a very short news, just an update. On Thursday, the 12th, the government of New Zealand has actually announced that it will restart reopening starting from vaccinated people early next year. So New Zealand has been one of the strict immigration policy, not letting pretty much anyone enter for a while, although there were some exceptions. Some students I know that were able to go to New Zealand, but mostly closed. However, they announced that they will restart to accept business travelers and also students from next year. At least the government is giving a plan. It's saying from maybe January next year, February next year, fine, but at least they're giving a timeline to students. What we really lack here in Japan is also the kind of communication, which is obvious and necessary, I think, nowadays. Like, we expect a government that, of a country that is collecting tuition fees, accommodation fees, taxes from foreigners. We expect that government to communicate on important matters. Not every day, we don't need communication every day, but at least what's the plan? What are you thinking? What are you waiting for? What are the criteria why you decide to open or not? Why some students could enter, for example, the MEX sponsored students could enter in June. Why JET program teachers can enter in September. Why dependent visa from China can enter now and not international students. So that kind of thing we would like really to know. And like New Zealand has done, please make an announcement. And hopefully, what we want is please open the borders by October, because I think it's time for international students that we waited so long to enter Japan. This news is very recent. You probably have seen it. Has been posted on social media. There is a news about saying Japan students down 10% due to the pandemic. It's really strange that this news was reported from several media. First was Kyodo News on the 12th of August, and then other newspaper like the Japan Times, I think, and other media outlets have brought this news now, because this news actually, it's exactly the same news that was posted in March of this year. So in March this year, the Ministry of Education said that 10.4% of decrease of international students as for the 1st of May 2020. It's really, really old news. It was published in March 2021, and it's related to data from May 2020. And you can see the same news because it says 10.4% here. Number of students, 279,597. 279,597, 10.4%. So I think it's just a mistake, because there are so many more updated news, including the information that we share that educationisnottourism.com is sharing, or generally speaking, there are so many updates related to the borders or how much the business are suffering. Why they pick this news that is old to repost it right now, I don't know. However, it's still good that they are talking about the situation of international students, and they're talking in a way that Japan is losing the leadership they had as a country leading Asia in terms of destination to study abroad, is obviously losing it. And if they don't really take some decision soon, probably it will lose it forever, because if they can open by October, I think the change will be irreversible, and too many people will cancel, too many people will change destination. So hopefully a decision will be taken by then. As last news or last update that I have for today, I want to mention this petition. As always, I put all the links in the description, so please go there, go and sign. This petition is specifically for asking the Japanese ambassador to Germany in late August, so please sign up as soon as possible, since they're collecting the signs and they're going to talk with the Japanese ambassador to Germany to relax, to open the borders and restart the visa issuance for Japan for students. So please read it here and sign up. I've signed it up already, and it's another initiative that I fully support. And I think if we are all together in this, if we all together keep asking and raising awareness about the situation of international students, we increase our chance to get a response from the government. So please sign up this petition, even though if for German students, I think everyone can support this. And in just a few days, they collect 850 signatures. Hopefully they will get several thousand very soon. So that's everything for today. As usual, I want to do some Q&A at the end. Before I start the Q&A, I want to thank you, two of you that on YouTube has correct my explanation, which was terribly wrong, and I hope I didn't confuse too much anyone. I did a mistake. I refer in my previous video to business track as the basically the category that represents who comes with a business visa or a work visa. However, who comes with a business or work visa actually is within the residence track category. When I refer to JATA proposing business track to reopen in September, they are referring for who comes short term with a business visa. So thank you very much to, I see here, Dota and also Alvar for your comments. And for this video Q&A, one question from Shining Ward saying, what about dependent COE? So I just said in this video, I showed the news that seems that something is moving for dependent COE. The news is only related to the China embassy that is treating case by case and is apparently accepting application again. I want to ask you, all of you, if you are waiting for a dependent visa, please ask your embassy. Let me know in the comments what they reply to you. There may be other countries or other conditions that are valid for getting a dependent visa. I think it will be very useful for the whole community to know. So hopefully something is moving, at least for who is waiting for a dependent visa. The other question or comment I would like to address is the one from Japan-san. Please speak on behalf worker newly to enter Japan as well. So I receive this a lot. I receive a lot in my channel, also on Twitter. People asking me, why are you not covering also workers? Is it unfair that the event is only for students? It's you should talk about dependent visa. Please treat us fairly. Also, I get a lot comments related to why the students you interview are, for example, from this nationality rather than this one. I want to clarify very, very straightforward and honestly with all of you that I support, of course, every country, every nationality that is stranded outside Japan, regardless really of where everyone is from or even the type of visa. I would do everything I can if I could have ways to talk about and have actions and initiatives that involved a work visa, for example, or dependent visa. However, I think it's important that everyone plays and focus on his strengths. And I came to Japan as a student, first of all, and I've been working in a study abroad agency, which is my company, since 12 years. So that's pretty much everything I've done in Japan. It's related to students. And the people I know for work, the people I'm related to are all in the education industry here in Japan. And when I make an event, I can do the event successfully because I'm connected with with schools, with universities, with vocational school, and I can reach a lot of students. I understand what students think because I've been working with students, I've been working for students, and I was a student myself. So please understand that. The reason why also I often interview maybe Western people is because our agency in Japan called Gogo Nihon focus mostly on students from Europe and America, just because personally I'm from Europe and that's the way it started. There is nothing against, actually I did interview people from also Asia. You can see in the videos that there is also a presence of of Asia as well. But just, it's just much easier for us, and the number of students we are in touch with, normally it's from Europe and America. However, I think we are really on the same boat here. So rather than focusing on what I don't do, maybe we should really try to help each other on what we are doing. So if you have any initiative related to working visas or related to couples or dependent visa that are not able to enter Japan, I will do my best to share and support. But my personal initiative probably will be focused on students. Last thing, I want first say a huge thank you for everyone that helped me submitting videos or stories for next event. The event will have really, really good content, and this is mostly thanks to the help of all of you. The video received were so many, we cannot put all of them, so we had to take the one that we thought could create a meaningful story from the beginning to the end. So it's not that we chose for certain reason, it's just the video that matched well together. So many video unfortunately we couldn't use, but still a huge thank you for submitting. Also, I'm receiving a lot of ideas on how to do the event, how I shouldn't do the event. Again, at the end, no one knows what could be the best way to do the event. What I can guarantee all of you that every decision taken by myself and by the people working with me in our association to support international students are made for international students. Every decision we take, every video we create, every event we make, every schedule we decide, every interview we do at the event is chosen thinking that that could have the best result for international students, to raise more awareness, to reach the government better, and so on. So please trust me on that. I'm not perfect. I could have chosen different things rather than others, but at the end, you know that I will choose what I think is best for international students and what I think will help the most international students to enter. Again, I want to remind everyone about 18th of August, 6 p.m. Japan time. Use a time converter if you're not sure about when is 6 p.m. Japan time in your area. But please attend, please participate, please share. It's super important for all of us that as many people as possible attend, participate, comment live to the event, because Japanese media will be watching, will be reporting about it. So we want to show that there's a lot of us there, and the more we are, the more our voice will be heard. Please join me next Wednesday. I'll be waiting for you, and I'll see you on Wednesday, 18th of August at 6 p.m. live on this channel. Thank you very much and see you next. Bye.